You're now watching a clip from the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
And first thing for me is I feel like we got to talk about the Hurricanes, man, because they're playing today. It's Saturday. It's rivalry weekend, and we're playing Duke. You know what I'm saying? That's not a rivalry at all. You know, we just started playing them just because they're in the same division as us. But we need to be playing like Notre Dame. You know, we need to be playing maybe Ohio State or, maybe a UCF or something like that.
Or the Florida State game should have been pushed back to this week. You feel me? Instead of the week where we actually
that's
lost.
always Florida and Florida State. It's always been the last game. That's been like that for years. They are not changing that. Just like Ohio State, Michigan is always the last game. Auburn, Alabama, always the last game. You know, these are rivalry games that have been built in. Even though the Florida-Miami rivalry has been a rivalry for a long time. You know, but they just stopped playing us because they scared, you know.
Even though both of us are kind of looking kind of suspect right now.
What?
Even though both of us kind of looking suspect
All
right
the Florida
now.
teams are looking suspect. I didn't want to say that FAMU is the best football team in Florida right now. You know what I'm saying? Based on record, they made the playoffs. They beat Bethune. They looking great. You know what I'm saying?
Bethune.
Yeah, they smacked Bethune in the face. You know what I'm saying? I went to FAM, so, I represent them Rattlers all day. So you could argue that they're the best team in Florida right now because UCF not looking great. Miami not looking great. Florida State, Florida not looking great. FIU trash. FAU not looking great. Come on, man. It's FAMU.
Man, it's because they're actually letting Alabama, Ohio State, and all these teams come get our prospects over here. So, of course, that's going to happen. You seen what happened in the Florida State game,
Don't bring that back. But we got to bring it back, though.
I'm like, one of the worst losses, you could feel as a University of Miami fan.
We usually on the other side of that. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true, but that's what made it even worse. My wife was like, y'all winning. I'm like, nah, they always find a way to lose. They're like the Dolphins, and same like I said, it's like I see the future, and Manny Diaz playing soft, and we wind up giving up a 3rd and 14 play.
4th and 14.
4th and 14.
That play will live on in infamy for me because it was the one moment where we were so close to winning. But there's so many times in that game where I was just like, man, if they would have did this, if they would have did that, they would have won this game. Despite the turnovers in the first half, they really came on in that second half and they looked like the better team, which they are. They're better than Florida State. They just found a way to lose the game because of who? Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz made some bad calls, terrible calls, horrible calls in this game. And as far as or it could have been Rhett Lashley, who we found out today is now departing from the Hurricanes and going to take the head coaching job at SMU.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe maybe because if you're making that type of gaffe, as far as going conservative on that 3rd down when we had the ball, where it's that same play to Mallory where they were short of the 1st down.
Yeah, how you not going to go 5 yards? Why would you drop a play it's 3 yards and 2 yards short from the 1st down? That don't even make any sense. I think it was 3rd and 4, and you throw a 2-yard route to Mallory. That didn't even make any sense.
Should have ran the ball with Van Dyke. Should have just ran a fake and just let him run. They're not going to expect him to run because he, doesn't run as much. They would have got the 1st down there. But, it is what it is. And then the other gaffe for the coaching staff is the fact that they don't let Florida State score. You got to let Florida State score. And then you have a chance. When that 4th and 14 happened, they down at the 1, and they had about a minute left, which is enough time.
They had more than a minute.
Yeah, it was more than a
minute, 27 seconds left or something like that.
So you definitely would have had time to come back and
kick a field goal.
And make this a game, in overtime if needed. So Unfortunately, it didn't go away. It was supposed to go. So everybody's screaming, including US, that Manny Diaz has to go.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, I wanted Manny Diaz to win that Florida State game. Just because I'm a loyal fan, just like yourself. But for me, I look at it as a blessing in disguise. Same like the super seniors that wind up getting injured and showing us about these prospects, these younger players, the Restrepo, James Williams, Avante Williams. Thank God they didn't release him, for the situation that he had. Like if it was Mark Richt, he would have been gone. So again, at the end of the day, I look at it as a blessing in disguise because you got Rhett Lashley, which I think is doing an amazing job with Tyler Van Dyke. Hopefully Tyler Van Dyke don't transfer and go to SMU. Because
Tyler Van Dyke, why would he transfer?
I'm just saying, this is the guy that kind of, had your back. He draw the. It can be something like sabotage because, again, like I told you, it doesn't look like the team. It doesn't look like the team and the plays were in sync with De'Aaron King. As far as when it came to the passing game, as far as the throwing down the field routes that you see Tyler Van Dyke able to have, like, you have this offensive line that we known been trash. I've been saying like they gooking all year, and now you got Tyler Van Dyke and he can throw 30-yard bombs, 20-yard bombs, 40-yard bombs. He can do certain things that you didn't see him draw for De'Aaron King. Is it because De'Aaron King wasn't that type of player that can probably look over the O-line because he's short and he just don't want to put him in a situation where he is gonna make the team look worse than it is, because he's ready to tuck it and run, because he actually been playing a different position his whole career before when he was at Houston. But again, you can look at it as we have Garcia as a backup. You told me that when it really came down to it, what you actually seen in practice, you liked the other guy better.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate that his ankle wound up getting hurt during training camp and in the offseason, and we weren't able to see that in a real game because we seen that in the spring game, I think. Both of them, they were playing back and forth, and both of them looked decent. Yeah, and and some people say that Garcia runs better than Van Dyke. So, okay.
Haven't really seen a lot of that, but Van Dyke is a pretty decent runner. Himself.
Me personally, I don't care if you're a runner or a passer. If you could do something, me personally, I think that if you play football, you got to be some type of athletic. It's not like how back in the days you had quarterbacks like the Tom Brady's that can't run. You're gonna run. You're not gonna be like Lamar Jackson, being explosive and certain like things like that. But you're gonna be able to get you like 5 yards. You're gonna be able to make somebody miss maybe here and there. Most likely, you probably throw the ball away. But if there's an opening and you slow, but you're not that slow, you run like a 4.6, 4.7, you can run for like 5 yards before somebody go ahead and try to knock your head off, then you can do that. So me personally, I don't care because Tyler Van Dyke, he can throw the ball downfield. That's what I want. I want deep balls thrown downfield. And unless we got somebody like Lamar Jackson that's explosive with his feet, then I ain't even worried about running plays like that as far as with the quarterback. As far as the blessing in disguise that I was saying, again, you got Lashley that left. I like what he did with Tyler Van Dyke, but again, he's going to SMU, play offensive coordinator in SMU prior to coming in Miami. And it basically showed Miami what we actually got. So the next person that's probably going to take to him at athletic director and probably head coach, because I don't think Manny Diaz is going to survive this. I think that it's a blessing in disguise because, again, the super seniors that wound up getting injured, if they were still on the field, we would have been still Manny Diaz, athletic director, probably would have been got fired a long time ago. probably see before the FSU game. So FSU game we lose, and you got the athletic director, someone that we both agree didn't do great when it came to bringing the athletics up. He probably brought money in to build facilities and certain things like that. But as far as focusing on all the different aspects of sports at the University of Miami, he didn't do a great job. So he got fired. Someone that I wanted to get fired before him, it was that lady that was, what's her name? The athletic director that was campaigning with Hillary Clinton. I forgot her name.
Donna Shalala?
I couldn't stand Don Shalala as well as athletic director.
She was the president.
Same thing. I didn't like her. I didn't like Blake James, and hopefully they can get somebody like I know Alonzo Highsmith. He don't want to take the athletic director's job. Why? Because again, he want to focus on football. But again, at the end of the day,
but the question is though, man, is what's the scenario that Manny Diaz stays? You know what I'm saying?
Stay? You want him to stay?
I'm not saying I want him to stay, but like there could be a scenario where they don't fire him. I just want to prepare you for that, because that could definitely happen.
This is the only way that's not.
If Manny Diaz goes out and he blows out the next 2 games, let's see, he blows out Duke today, and then he blows out the bowl game, which we don't always win bowl games. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't win a bowl game. I think the last time we won a bowl game was with Richt in the Camping World Stadium. It was in Orlando. That was like the last time they won a bowl game. So if they do that and he's able to somehow hire somebody good as an offensive coordinator.
But that's not the problem. The problem was 4th and 14. That's defense. That's Manny Diaz.
The problem was also offense, as I alluded to earlier in this podcast.
Yeah, it was,
where
but
they
it
went
wasn't.
for 3rd and short and they couldn't convert.
Look,
why not go aggressive?
It wasn't. Because think about it. Last year, Rhett Lashley was here, and our offense looked decent. Our offense has been looking like bread and butter, for the last couple of years, and we've been throwing downfield last year. We looked decent. We thought we would have had a better year this year. It didn't wind up being like that. Why? Remember I told you De'Aaron King, he got injured in Alabama, and then he came out later and said he did get injured in Alabama. And, I knew it once I seen the play. Once he, when he got hit, I knew he got injured. But anyway, he wasn't 100%. They kept him in the game. They tried to keep it in the wraps, and you seen what happened. The actual record played for itself. He was ready to tuck it. He was nervous in the pocket. He was not as accurate as I known him to be. I'm like, he was throwing things like very inaccurate when I actually seen him. I only seen him for one real year because I never really watched him when he was in Houston. So when he was here last year, he was accurate. He was a better quarterback than we had for the longest at the University of Miami. Brought up, the program, good leader, this, that, and the other, but then he was wind up injured. So again, at the end of the day, when it comes to a scenario as far as Manny Diaz being able to survive, he may be able to survive, but again, I still got a problem with the defense. If you could go ahead and get Alonzo Highsmith, I don't know, maybe a head coach. I don't know if you want to be a head coach, but Mario Cristobal. You get Mario Cristobal, huh?
Not a head coach.
Someone. You need him on the staff. Recruiting with Mario Cristobal as the head coach, doing a great job in Oregon. Picking up scouts and players that probably normally should go to USC and these other big football programs, but he wind up having them come to Oregon, and he from Dade County, man. He Cuban.
Yeah.
You want to eat some of that.
I mean, personally, I like it. I would love it, because from what I hear with a recruit down here, Earl Little Jr., he stayed in contact with Earl Little Senior, constantly.
Okay.
He was always, letting him know how much he wanted him at Oregon. So that's the type. If he's doing that at Oregon, of course he would do that here if he was here. So I 100% think that he would be a better recruiter than Manny Diaz. But as far as, I don't know, like the game stuff is still kind of questionable for me because you got to give him props for beating Ohio State. First and foremost, you beat Ohio State,
the team that I don't
on
like,
the
they
road,
stole the championship.
On the road, right? Like, which is tough to do. So you give him props for that. But the rest of the season, you thought, like, okay, maybe this team is going to be maybe a playoff contender if they beat Ohio State. And then they lose 2 more games. They may lose the game today to Oregon State. Who knows? I think Oregon wins. But still, like, to get to that level, at least to get to that level, would be good enough for every Hurricanes fan. If we're, like, in the conversation for the playoff, then, yeah, sign me up for that. Rather than, making a bowl, maybe winning the bowl game.
I love all
Come
that.
on, man. That's not the Miami standard. Us Miami Hurricanes are still spoiled from the early 2000s and the 80s and the 90s.
They do not want it to be back because like we spoke on.
That's what I want.
On Thanksgiving, once we come back, we ain't never leaving. You know what I'm saying? So again, Mario Cristobal come back, former Cane. What you were saying that, they beat Ohio State, but then they lost the next 2 games. That's perfect. I love to hear that. So why? Because that means that, he's not in contention to win the championship. And if he's in contention, then that means that we can't get him. If he's losing and certain things like that, then you could come back over here and recruit people from Dade County to stay over here in Dade County. They're not going to go to Oregon. They're not going to go to Ohio State, Alabama. They're not going to go to LSU. They're going to stay to the crib.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll build something from there. I mean, for me personally, like, we got the quarterback. We have the quarterback. And I don't know what we're going to do about the O-line, though, because these super seniors going to leave. And
you're probably only going to lose one O-lineman, and that's Donaldson.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only one you're going to lose. Zion is likely going to stay. Zion,
because he see what we got in the pot. You feel me? We about to make a gumbo over here. You feel me? They kind of gumbo.
Everybody's young. The whole team is young. You see how many freshmen they played. You know what I'm saying? You got James Williams, you got Avonte Williams,
this is why Manny Diaz gonna get fired because, Smith. Like you told me before, they're 22. They're not draft, but signing day. Manny Diaz really don't got nobody
right now. Right, he's got the quarterback.
Yeah, he got the quarterback, but again,
you kind of already have the quarterback right now.
Yeah, you got 2 quarterbacks. You got 2 quarterbacks. But you still need to go ahead and be able to find a replacement for Brett Lashley if you are going to stay, which I don't think is going to happen, especially if you're going to get Mario Cristobal. Fire Manny Diaz tomorrow, or fire him before the game. I don't even care if we win if we're going to get Mario Cristobal.
Right.
Then if we get Mario Cristobal, Alonzo Highsmith, he's going to be somewhere around there. I just love the plain fact that everything is happening right now. People are getting fired. People are losing their jobs. Everybody being held accountable. Their jobs is in their head. They're not worried about, they're not thinking about, oh, we're going to lose and you're probably going to get fired. Everybody's rumbling, fire him. They haven't done the banners flying.
Yeah, they haven't.
But again,
he lose one of these 2 games, then I feel like it's going to happen.
He's supposed to be and get fired, but again, at the end of the day, I wanted to give him a chance. I just don't want them to make a quick decision and then get it wrong again. That's all I'm. I don't care who the hell they hire. Lane Kiffin, Mario Cristobal. If Lane Kiffin come, he gonna do good over here for a few years and then he gonna bang it.
Yeah.
That's the only problem I got with him. But Mario Cristobal, you from down here. You want some Cuban food, a little bit of the Haitian food, a little bit of Jamaican food. You can vibe, have your cafa con leche, cafecito, and be vibed out. So, hey, it is what it is, man. As far as this game, what you think gonna happen? I think we're gonna win this game.
I think we're gonna win.